The current events update. Start the countdown. What? That's current event right there. And that's for Brother Jim. That's just especially for him. He loves the Christmas countdown 11 months early. Israel Watch, 12/28/25. Still that one deceased hostage remains. Just to always clarify, we have to fix the false narrative that's out there. The greatest abusers of Palestinians, non-Jews, in Gaza is Hamas and not Israel. This little cartoon demonstrates the reality. That's what you see on the evening news. A boot on the head of the Gazan. Here's the reality. It's being staged. Just like we've shown you over and over and over, they stage things. They take little kids that are sick and pretend that it's because they're starving when they've got leukemia or some other disease. And they'll talk about starvation and they'll find a few skinny people. I mean, we could do the same thing here. Of course, I wouldn't be one of those, but there are a few of you here we could take and, have you maybe, put a little makeup on you and have you look sad, and you're skinny enough, it'd look like that church is starving its people. And that's what they're doing. And then you turn the camera around, look at the other people, and they all look like me. And I'm not starving. This is AI, but it's out there, and people are actually buying the fact that Israel is causing Gazans to have to suffer in the snow. It's Gaza. There's no snow there. But that's why I showed you those videos last week, and they can make things look really realistic. And they're accusing Israel of forcing Gazans to freeze to death, and there are people dumb enough to believe that. These are Gazans being executed for political reasons by Hamas. That's not, Israel has never lined up Gazans and done that. Hamas has done it over and over and over, and the news media doesn't say a word. If Israel did this one time, that's all you would see for the next 5 years. That's the propaganda machine that's in play right now. Tucker Carlson and others are lying and claiming that Israel attacks churches in Gaza. It's not true. When you have to support the narrative that Israel is bombing churches in Gaza, but there's no evidence. So you publish an image of a church in Greece that was destroyed by an earthquake and tell everybody Israel bombed a church in Gaza. That's a church in Greece. It was destroyed by an earthquake. That's why it's always been true, but it's even more true now than ever. You don't trust anything you see on the internet or the news. I would trust the internet before I trust the news. But don't trust either one unless you can confirm it. And if you can't confirm it, just forget about it. Either confirm it or forget about it. Because if you can't confirm it, it's not worth trusting. Tucker Carlson and others also lie and claim that Christians peacefully coexist with Hamas in Gaza. And that's not true. Here's the truth. Every year they burn trees. This was a nice looking tree and they set it on fire, and there's video of it. I meant to grab it and I didn't, but there's video of the thing going up on Christmas Eve. This huge tree up in flames. Attacks on Christians, their sites and symbols are unacceptable at all times, even more so as we approach Christmas this week. The ministry said, this is the reality. You can't coexist with someone who wants to kill you. That's the reality. And then, of course, we have the Gog Magog War Watch, beginning with Iran, who in the Bible is Persia, which would include more than just Iran. But Iran's secular president says what others refuse to acknowledge. We are in full-fledged war with America, Israel, and Europe. Now, they're not able to inflict daily punishment, but they are doing things constantly which are acts of war against the United States. And you know what? Americans will pretend that it's not happening until everybody loses their electricity and you lose your access to your bank accounts. Right now, we have been able to thwart Iranian efforts to destroy the power grid and destroy our banking system. But when they finally succeed, everybody's going to say, why didn't you do something? Why? Because of Tucker Carlson, Mark Dice, and all these idiots who are out there telling you that Iran is of no consequence to us and that we shouldn't be doing something about what they're doing to us because we don't have bodies in the streets right now. That's why it's going to happen. They do not want our country to stand on its feet. This is the president of Iran saying this. This war is worse than Iraq's war against us. If you don't know how bad that was, go back to the 1988 war with Iraq. If one understands it well, this war is far more complex and difficult than that war. In the war with Iraq, the situation was clear and they fired missiles and we knew where to hit. Here they are besieging us from every aspect. They are creating problems for us in terms of livelihood, culturally, politically, and security-wise. That's in retaliation for what Iran is doing to us. And if Iran would stop attacking America and Israel, they would have peace. Amen. It's the same thing as what's happening in Israel. If all the Arab enemies of Israel laid down their arms today, there would be peace. If Israel laid down its arms today, there would be no more Jews. That's exactly right. That's the difference. Then you have Togarmah and Turkey. Togarmah biblically is Turkey in modern politics and geopolitics. Turkey Sunnis are in cahoots with the Hamas Sunnis, united in hatred for Israel. And we showed you, I think it was last week, Turkey is trying to become the peacekeepers, setting up tens of thousands of troops in Gaza. I mean, it would just be a nightmare if that happens. Well, they're building the bridges. Turkey hosts Hamas officials as pro-government media casts Israel as the #1 threat. So they're coming together in their hatred for Israel. And that's what Sunni Muslims across the board, they're the majority of Muslims. About 80% of Muslims are Sunnis. And the Shia is the largest minority group among Muslims. Sunni Muslims constitute the largest branch, make up, well, it says 85 to 90% in this. And the term Sunni comes from al-Sunnah, meaning the people of the tradition, referring to those who follow the Sunnah, the practices and teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. In contrast, Shia Muslims derive their name from Shiat Ali, or the party of Ali is what that means, believing that the leadership should have remained with the Prophet's family, starting with his cousin and son-in-law Ali. So the Shia believed they should have been a dynasty and just followed the bloodline of Muhammad. The Sunnis rejected that, and they are the mass majority when it comes to these things. They hate each other. They fight each other. That's what Iraq and Iran was fighting. They're Sunni versus Shia. But they're united in their hatred for non-Muslims, especially the Jews. That's what unites them. Notice that those who write about the differences between Sunni and Shia rarely mention their shared hatred for Jews and Israel. They talk about the other things that they unite on, but the main thing they're uniting on today is their hatred for the Jews and Israel, and it's rarely mentioned. Well, we are just as united with the various types of Zionists standing with Israel. Amen? Amen. We don't join with them doctrinally. We don't agree with, like John Hagee. I don't recommend his ministry. But we are united with him in standing with Israel. That's all you have to know. In other current events, women, mostly white, and the under 35 crowd are killing America. I'm not the only one noticing. There are people standing up all over the country with signs that say, "Deport white liberal women." I'd vote for that.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Peggy Flanagan. I am the Lieutenant Governor of Minnesota, and I'm really honored and humbled to be here with all of you today. I am incredibly clear that the Somali community is part of the fabric of the state of Minnesota. I think about my friendship with Nimco. We've been friends for almost 25 years. And when I think of being part of Minnesota and growing up here, the Somali community has always been a part of my Minnesota. So I want to just encourage the community to know that we're with you. We've got your back. I am here shopping today, and just encourage other folks to show up, support our Somali businesses, support our immigrant neighbors. And I know that things are scary right now. And just know that there are more people who are looking out for you. There are more people who are here to support you than you know. I will continue to stand with the Somali community to be with you and to do all I can to return the friendship and community that the Somali community has shown me. Thank you so much.
Just think about that. This is the woman, she's just a typical feminist, hates God, hates the Bible, hates Christians who believe the Bible, is totally for murdering unborn children, totally in the bed with Sodom, LGBTQ. But then what's she do? Puts on the hijab. Think of the stupidity of that. And yes, there are women of all shades, but the mass majority of the women who are supporting this nonsense today are stupid white women. Just fact. Just in case you're wondering, I don't hate white women. I said stupid white women. That's a segment of the white women population. I'm married to a white woman. She's not stupid. There's several white women in here. No matter what your shade, if you're a Bible-believing Christian, you can't be stupid. If you support what's right and good, you're not stupid. You may not even be saved, but at least you're not stupid. But the majority of white women in America are stupid. They support satanic wickedness. And then they put on a hijab. Just think of how stupid that is. She's talking about illegals and the corruption scandal going on in Minnesota. And she's saying, you have my support. She is openly declaring her support for lawlessness and crime. That's what the Democrat Party has become today, folks. A party of crime. If you're here legally and are not breaking the law, there's nothing scary except the Democrat fake news media. If you're here legally and you're not breaking laws, there's nothing to be afraid of. If you see an officer of the law and you get scared, that's a guilty conscience. What do you got to fear? I just...
This quality...
Wait for it.
Learning Center. I meant to say Quality Learning Center.
Don't open
They
up!
said...
There she is.
They spelled learning wrong.
Don't open up!
How do you have ice here, ma'am? I'm literally a YouTuber.
Don't open up!
Another
Ma'am, what do you
stupid
think about
white
the fraud
woman.
that's taking place here in Minnesota?
Don't open up! We have ice!
And what do you think about this place being licensed for 99 children
Don't open up!
and getting $4 million over
Don't
the
open up! It's ice!
$4 million in the last 2 years?
Go away!
What do you think about that? Are you in
Go
favor?
away!
Are you in favor of that?
Go away!
You know what
You're
it-
not welcome here!
Are you-
Shame on you!
Are you in favor of $1.9
Shame
million
on you.
going
It's ice.
illegally,
Don't open up!
fraudulently to this business that has Quality Learning Center but can't even spell learning right on the door?
Don't open up!
Ma'am, we are not ICE.
A Learning
I don't care
Center.
who you are, you don't belong here.
I belong here just like you belong here.
Don't open up! It's ice!
You do realize that there's supposed to be 99 children in here at this building, but there's no one here.
They're raking in millions of taxpayer dollars, and it's an empty building. There's no children there. This is part of like a 42-minute video that's approaching 100 million views just on X. And one of the places they go to is actually registered in 2 names with 2 different sets of paperwork, 2 different sets of kids they're supposed to have there, and collecting 2 different sets of taxpayer money. If the welfare fraud in Minnesota is this bad, imagine how bad the voter fraud is. These 4 women, 3 of whom are stupid white women, work to protect pedophiles. The Democrat Party is the party for criminals. I'm not telling you to be a Republican. Be an independent. Be anything but a Democrat. I don't care what you are. Join the Libertarian Party, but then they're a little too far on the abortion and gay marriage thing. But it's like if I was in Germany and there was 10 parties, be one of the 9, but don't be a Nazi. And don't tell me not to compare the Democrat Party to the Nazis. They are projecting when they call others Nazis. They hold almost point by point what Adolf Hitler held, including now hating Jews. Do you realize the Democrat Party, with their hatred of Jews in Israel, is right where Hitler was around 1938? Fact. But because there's been this abuse of that, they're scaring anybody from making that connection. Well, I don't care. I'm making that connection because it's true. It's there. Lisa Wellman, Noel Frame, Twyna Nobles, and Claire Wilson, 4 Democrat Washington state senators, are sponsoring a bill that reduces the penalties for child sex offenders caught in sting operations. Isaiah said something about this in chapter 3, verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. We talked about in Sunday school, you know why there's Huldah the prophetess and Deborah the prophetess? Is because it's a time of apostasy when the men are useless. And when the men are useless, you got to have women step up. So the question is, are there going to be men stepping up? We're in apostasy. No doubt about it. If you could see the souls of those 4 women, it looks something like that. I didn't do that. Somebody else made that. But you would reduce the penalty for pedophiles caught in the act of trying to meet kids from the age of 10 to 15. You're wicked as hell.
Amen.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely seeing the similarities. They all got that crazy, that Charlie Manson look to them. You remember this? Kamala Harris supported Senator Scott Wiener, who authored Bill SB 145, which legalizes sex with children if the child consents and is within 10 years age of the rapist. You imagine being that wicked? Kamala is. And everybody who voted for her is. So I don't like Donald Trump. Then leave it blank, but don't vote for Satan. The Democrat Party is a death cult. And Rhino Republicans have the spirit of Judas. You know, like Bill Kristol. You know those kind of guys? I wish Democrats hated sex offenders as much as they hate gun owners. They're not trying to weaken gun laws. They're trying to take your guns away from you, like a bunch of communists. The hardest part of parenting has become protecting your kids from Democrats. And we see this same disgusting love of criminals in their drug trafficking war. 300,000 plus Americans killed by fentanyl, and the Democrats are weeping over the handful of drug traffickers being blown out of the water. Just think of that. They don't care one flip about all the young deaths resulting from the drugs flooding into this country. But then when Donald Trump's administration blows up a boat filled with fentanyl ready to kill tens of thousands of Americans, they're crying over the criminals. Wicked sons of Satan. Disgusting. They're not Americans. They're citizens of hell. A National Guard soldier is killed in cold blood and the left stays silent. But when terrorist drug boats get blown up, they lose their minds. This is what moral decay looks like. Amen. And now, carry on with the laughs. A little levity. We present to you, start the year off, if you're memorizing the Bible, here's a good recommendation, the Wile E. Coyote verse. How many of you heard this? Proverbs 26:27, whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Is that not Wile E. Coyote? Amen?
Sounds like him.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just look. Why do I say Wile E? Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. Watch this. I can do that. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Now watch. Oh, wait a minute. It gets better. And wait for it. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein. That's not real. Just want you to know. No coyote was hurt in the making of that cartoon. And he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him. Now watch. Oh, 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 oh. So isn't that funny? That Bible verse has been there way before cartoons, and there it is. And a little church attendance humor. That's how you spirit-filled Christians got up this morning for church, didn't you? Isn't that how you got up? It's Sunday! Yeah! Here's the backslidden Christian when it comes time for church. I don't want to know which one of you look like that this morning. And finally, this public service announcement. Smoking in public is illegal. A man lit a cigarette in the Beluga interaction area. There's signs up saying no smoking. Staff tried to stop him, but he ignored the warnings. So, take matters in your own hands. The Beluga put out the cigarette. Look at him, he's like, what now? What now? Yeah, that's great. All right, be informed, pray and act accordingly, amen.